Hey, what's happening, everyone? It is I, the man, the myth, the mustache. Tim here with a brand new video for you. Welcome to part 18 of What If Izuku Was an All-for-One Fan. Please sit back and relax, because you're in for a treat. And I gotta say, this is the nicest introduction I've done for this series. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get the story going, shall we? Footsteps clicked against tiles deep below the surface. Lights barely illuminating the hallways that were filled with armed guards, gun turrets, anti-quirk countermeasures, security bots, security cameras, and many more security measures. 5 blast doors, each one opened by a single hero. The first unlocked by Endeavor, the second by Aizawa, the third by Nezu, the fourth by Sir Night-Eye, and the fifth and final blast door unlocked by Gran Torino. Following these 5 individuals were 3 others: Recovery Girl, Power Loader, and David Shield. Watching the various heroes enter the room, Izuku grinned a little in his restraints. No quirks, a damaged claw pack. This was quite the pickle he was in, but there were contingencies. Lots of contingencies. So worst comes to worst, Izuku would take these heroes to hell with him. You're a real pain in the ass, kid. You know that? Do you have any idea how expensive and difficult it was to make your cell? 'Cause I don't. But that's beside the point. Your cell is identical to the one we had built in Tartarus for All for One. Shame it won't be used for him, but I guess it'll be yours soon enough. Power Loader groaned at Izuku through the reinforced glass divider. Quite. Now then, Izuku Midoriya, I think we'd best... Nezu slowly approached the glass, only to have Izuku roar at him and be shocked by the collar placed around the villain to pacify him. I am not called that, you rat! It's Izuku Shigaraki! Get it right! Now what did Power Loader mean all for one cell in Tartarus won't be used for him? Give up, did ya? Izuku growled before smirking. We'll be asking the questions here, Shigaraki. Failed to answer in a satisfactory manner, and we have been granted authority to use less than pleasant methods of making you talk. Frankly, I'd rather not use them on Inko's pride and joy. Aizawa said with a scowl, wearing a pair of specialized goggles that had been prescribed to him to help his sight heal after being almost completely blinded by Hagakure's attack against him during the Shie Hisakai raid. Fine, whatever. Ask your questions and whatever you like. Can I get a drink or something? I'm so damned parched. I've been down here for a whole day and you guys haven't even given me food or water and you call me the villain? Izuku retorted with a shit-eating grin. Very well, young man. What do you want to drink? Recovery Girl tried to play nice, given that this was her first meeting with Izuku. Even while he was in UA, he never came to her office, or at least not long enough to start a conversation. Well, you all want the best answers out of me, and you know what they say about the carrot being better than the stick, so I'll have tea. The same brand Mr. Nezu drinks, and I'll answer every question you pose to me. I kinda got used to drinking tea back at Island, so you can understand how hard it is to kick that habit. Eh, Nezu? After a few grumbles from most of the pros, Izuku got his tea, and after some more bargaining, it was secured that it would be his only drink after some coaxing. The heroes did agree with the logic he'd need the caffeine to stay awake for late-night interrogations. Nezu was none too thrilled to be sharing his tea supply, though, but sacrifices had to be made, he supposed. All right, first question, and the most important question of all. Izuku Shigaraki. Where is my teacup? Nezu screamed like an enraged beast at Izuku as the boy sipped his tea slowly with his eyes shut. Gentle Criminal has it. He keeps it as a souvenir and drinks from it frequently. It never leaves his side. Nezu's eyes twitched as the boy so nonchalantly responded to a question he already had the answer to, thanks to the LOV spy's intel on the matter. Although this did prove Izuku was being honest and upholding his end of the deal regarding the tea thing. The various heroes dotting the room cleared their throats as the principal who had just screamed about where his teacup was. As clearly, this was not what they were here to ask the villain. Night-Eye, can't you just go in there and use your quirk on him? Endeavor impatiently asked the hero, gifted with foresight. I would if I could. I tried when we captured him, and all I saw was darkness within his eyes, staring back at me. It was unsettling, to say the least. Still drinking his tea, Izuku laughed a little at Sir Night-Eye. That would be thanks to One for None, Night Eye. Ah, it's a beautiful little quirk of mine, bioengineered to be the perfect quirk. It is a perfect blend of emitter, transformation, and mutation, meaning even with all these anti-quirk measures, some of it can't be erased while you have me locked up. Oh, and could I get a refill, please? The green-haired teen cackled, finishing his tea and opening his eyes. By the way, before one of you asks, yes, the claw pack is indeed grafted to my spinal cord, as you no doubt figured. I did it to myself, after all. It wasn't forced upon me. As for why I woke up when you were cutting the claws off, they're connected to my nervous system, so yeah. You guys basically just decapitated a pair of arms from my body, and I felt it. Thanks for the agonizing pain, by the way. Izuku's final comment dripped with venom and sarcasm as he glared at Powerloader, the man who had power sawed the claws off. The heroes weren't getting anywhere. At least, not anywhere that the Commission would be happy with before they took over. Something none of the heroes wanted to happen. So, they all elected to give Izuku a break for a few hours, leaving the teen with a supply of tea to keep him hydrated and caffeinated until they were ready to continue. Once the heroes had left the room, Izuku paused for a few minutes before sniffing the air. Ugh! I can smell your cheap cologne through that vent from here, and I'm behind reinforced glass. Hurry up and come out! Izuku growled as Aoyama tumbled out of the vent onto the floor where the heroes once stood. Ah, sorry, mon ami. I was just putting the cameras in your cell on loop for the next hour. Aoyama anxiously exclaimed at Izuku. Yeah, get on with it, Aoyama. I lack time and patience. The villain exuded killing intent against the quivering teen. Oui, of course, sir. I have made preparations and I will enact a plan to break you out and return you to the League as fast as I can. Izuku nodded along while drinking some more tea as he closed his eyes, thinking about what Aoyama was saying to him. Not wanting to overstay his welcome, Aoyama crawled back into the vent, closing it behind him, taking the stench of Parisian cologne with him. Izuku sat quietly in his cell, and waited, and waited, and waited, and waited. Until, at last, the heroes returned for round 2 of question time with Tactikill. Okay then, Izuku. Despite the fact you and several other students were League members, we have no doubt you still have a spy here who reports back to you and All for One. So, who are they? Nezu sat in front of the glass, sipping his own tea after finally calming down and returning to his usual relaxed demeanor. I want visitation rights for this cell while I'm being held here, and the info is yours. Nezu looked back at the other heroes before sighing and nodding in response, giving in to Izuku's request. It's Aoyama. You'll find enough evidence if you search his dorm, including the vents. Especially the vents. Oh, and his phone's passcode is 1285. Then check under the hyperlink for the word conceal in the dictionary application to see all the notes he's been taking on you guys. Gran Torino and Aizawa rushed out of the room quickly to follow up on Izuku's lead he'd provided, and lo and behold, everything was truthful. Aoyama was a spy for the League. He had been acting alone. Weeks passed, and Izuku was still being interrogated by the heroes, but with every piece of tantalizing info he gave them, the more they had to give him in exchange. Until finally a day arrived where Izuku's visitation rights presented something interesting. He had quite the collection of visitors today. Inko, Melissa, and David Shield, Bakugo and Vlad King, not to mention the usual hero entourage who were required to unlock all those blast doors. Well, looky, today's visitation is gonna be juicy, from the looks of you guys. Still, at least it won't be a boring convo with the Prime Minister or head of commission, only to tell them things they already know. I swear I've explained how One for None works more times than I can count, and the commission still can't figure it out. Izuku smiled happily behind the glass and sat at a table drinking tea, now thanks to his various requests of luxury in exchange for information. Before we get back to the video, I want to talk about our brand new channel, Celestia, our channel dedicated to all things Dungeons & Dragons. Currently, we have a series breaking down the different spells in D&D, and soon we'll be starting some new series as well. So if you're a fan of D&D or have an interest in learning about it, check it out. Additionally, if there is something you've always wanted to see get made into a video, head over there and leave a comment mentioning it. Izuku, why? Why would you go and join the League? How long have you been a part of their ranks? Why are you a villain? Inko screamed at her son, trying her best to hold back her quirk. Why? Why am I a villain? That is the dumbest fucking question I have ever been asked while I've been locked in here. Wake up! There aren't good guys or bad guys. There are just guys. It's all gray, no matter how you look at it, or how your best philosophers try to dissect it. I did what I did not because it benefited me, not because it caused destruction, not because it was fun, not even for revenge. No! I did it all because I knew I had to. You can't build something new unless you burn what was old and unneeded to the ground. As for why I joined the League, I joined them because they made me feel more welcome than you or UA ever did. Izuku tried to hold his composure as he turned away from the glass, sipping his tea in the usual manner he always would, while he was contained in that damnable subterranean prison cell. I should have known you were rotten, Izuku. You're beyond saving. We came down here with the hope we could save you from the League's influence. That this wasn't you. That All For One did this to you. That you had no choice, but you really were evil since we were little. Bakugo spoke out, masking his sadness with bravado. Izuku, Tactical, we don't need to be enemies. You have so much going for you. I never knew who you were or what you've done, but I chose to read and learn about the positives regarding who you are. What I found was someone who turned to villainy because, it's as you said, you want to change the world, but I've chosen a route most people would deem as unforgivable to tread. Melissa stepped forward, putting a gentle palm on the glass between her and Izuku, causing Izuku to look upon her with his glowing black and green eyes with intrigue. Melissa? What the hell are you? Bakugo growled at Melissa's shield, only to get cut off. Shut up, Bakugo. Let me finish. As I was saying, you've displayed strength both with and without a quirk. You've displayed high levels of intellect, and you're obviously willing to sacrifice yourself to protect the ones you deem as worth protecting, as you showed back at the Shie Hisakai hideout. I felt you trying to use that one-for-none quirk on me. It felt so sad and angry. So tell me, Izuku, what is it that saddens you so much, and what angers you so much? Help us, help you. Deathly silence fell over the room as Izuku shut his eyes and finished his 1029th cup of tea since being incarcerated. Let me think about it. If I want to get into it, I'll tell you tomorrow. But I have one condition. I want all of 1A and 1B to be there to hear it. After Island, they all deserve to hear it, Izuku bluntly announced. More silence filled the room as the heroes and visitors looked at one another, debating without words on if he should be given this. But in the end, a voice rang out from behind them all. We have a deal, Izuku Shigaraki. A tired man in a suit yawned out. It was the current president of the Hero Commission. The next day came along with both classes having been assembled. All electronic devices had been confiscated. The president of the Hero Commission, accompanied by Hawks, joined the collection of guests Izuku would be receiving that afternoon. Hello, everyone. Long time no see. I trust you've all been training hard so you can defeat the League of Villains, or whatever crap the suits have been spoon-feeding you. Anyway, Melissa, I have thought about what you said before, and you too, Bakugo. You're both right. Bakugo, I can't be saved. I've fallen too far. But Melissa was right. One for None was, and is more than any of you could imagine. It is partially sentient, and always evolves into a new quirk for its new host, depending on their current personality. Due to my manipulative nature and tendency to lie at the time I gained it, I gained the ability to control a person completely. With each time I use One for None, I feel it pulling me deeper and deeper into the void of cold, calculated hatred and depression. Izuku sighed, finishing his final cup of tea for the afternoon, opening his eyes. That green glow of deep pools of black was still so uncomfortable to see, and the students felt even more so uncomfortable seeing it in person. Wait, so that weird quirk of yours is, alive? And it's having an adverse effect on your mental state the more you use it? Yaoyorozu queried to a smirking and nodding Izuku. You always were my intellectual rival, Momo. Yes, you have it exactly right. One for None will eventually drive me into an incurable psychological shift. Now, I was asked what causes the anger and the rage. Well, it's simple. It's society. It's corrupt, it's broken, and it cannot be fixed. It can only be replaced by burning it down and building a new one in its place. As for the sadness I feel, well, no point beating around the bush. Ever since the incident when my quirk first manifested, I was feared by everyone around me. Nobody approached me, nobody befriended me, except for Nato and Togaru. Bakugo only felt safe around me because of my anti-quirk bracelets I had to wear at the time. Hisashi left me and Inko after the incident, and even Inko was distant from me until I said I was joining UA. The various figures in the room all fell quiet, listening to Izuku's story. Pounding her fist against the glass, Inko started crying as she looked at her son and felt his cold, withering gaze fall upon her. Izuku, no, it was never like that. I just thought you wanted your space after Hisashi left us. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, my son, my baby boy. Aizawa placed a hand on Inko's shoulder, trying to calm her emotional outburst, but a shimmer from both Inko's hand and Aizawa's caught Izuku's gaze. 2 identical golden rings. One for Inko, one for Aizawa. What are those rings? Izuku growled as his eyes began to glow brighter. Izuku, calm down, please. They're nothing, really. It's just, Inko fumbled over her words as she ran a finger over Aizawa's ring. Inko, it's fine. You can't escape that room. Izuku, these are our engagement rings. Your mother and I are engaged. She's my fiancé. You can choose to be happy for your mother, or you can throw a tantrum like a petulant child. Either way, you will never leave that cell. Aizawa's words hit Izuku like a sucker punch, but that idiotic zombie couldn't have been more wrong. The entire underground complex erupted in red warning lights and blaring alarms. Izuku's anti-quirk restraints groaned out until they exploded from the pressure, no longer able to contain the teen's 8 quirks, whilst he was in this enraged state that boosted their power. Wanna bet Eraser dead? Tactical snarled through gritted teeth as the reinforced glass shattered across the entire room. Everyone tried to escape the room as quickly as possible before Izuku could completely breach his containment, as they all ran knowing the quirks Izuku possessed, or, well, 7 of them at least. If they knew all 8, they would never have let the boy within 100 miles of a drop of tea. Things fell silent as the heroes and special ops guards assigned to guard Izuku waited outside the blast doors for the telekinetic teen. Yet, there was nothing. For a whole hour, nodding in silence, the heroes led the way into Izuku's cell to find the room empty and the ventilation shaft torn open. Exactly 1 hour prior, Izuku burst from a vent leading to the support course room, exactly as he planned. Thanks to the various fumes he could smell and the stockpiled intellect from the tea he had been drinking via the use of Intelli's quirk, he had this escape route planned out days ago. Dropping from the vent, Izuku noticed he was not alone. Power loader. However, there was no fight. The man toppled over as Mei Hatsume stabbed a butterfly knife into the nape of the man's neck. Been wanting to do that ever since I got him as a teacher. All right. Aoyama and Mina have informed me of the situation. Good call on making the Frenchie the patsy, by the way, and keeping him unaware of Mina. And now then, I've been tinkering with this since they captured you. Tactical, I give you your new and improved suit. Mei opened a suitcase for Tactical, showing off a comfortable change of clothes. Good work, Screw Loose. Nice clean kill, by the way. Now, before I get changed, can you repair my claw arms? Tactical asked as he took the briefcase. Can I repair it? I can upgrade it in half the time I'd take for whoever made this to repair it. Mei, or as she was known in the villain underworld, Screw Loose, exclaimed with a cocky grin. After about 30 minutes, she was done, and Izuku had her leave the room to stand watch at the door while he changed into his new outfit. As the support course room door opened, Tactical was truly back as he gave a quick spin to show off how he looked in Screw Loose's work. Looking good, Tactical, sir. Now, we need to get you back to the League pronto. They've been in shambles ever since you were captured and All for One died. It's gotten so bad that Reed Destro has withdrawn his support for the cause. Guess me and Curious have to get to work on Phase 6, huh? Tactical nodded, but not before catching a glance of a face just permeating through a wall. Looks like it was time to get even with Mirio. Using his upgraded mask, Tactical tracked Mirio's movements perfectly. As the boy was about to burst from the floor and punch Tactical, the villain glared in his direction and activated Erasure, leaving Mirio half stuck on the ground. Laughing, Tactical plunged one of his claws into Mirio's chest as his claw pack began to glow. This was it, the 9th quirk. Once he was done stealing the permeation quirk, Tactical reached out and decayed Mirio's remains. By the time the heroes had found Tactical's trail to the support course classroom workshop, both he and Screwloose were gone, receiving the welcome of a lifetime at Island. Izuku, you little asshole! Never do that again, you had us all scared, half to death! Nobody even realized you were gone, Twice said in a little teary-eyed as he hugged Izuku first. Glad to have you back, little boss, Max chuckled. Izu, I can see you get blood on your claws. Can I have it, please, please, please? Toga raved as she looked at the claws caked in Mirio's blood. Never doubted he'd get back, for 1 second. Dabi smirked. Izuku laughed as he embraced his family, all but 2. All for 1 and Tamura. After the group hug, Spinner walked away down a corridor and pulled out a silver phone as he opened it. A hand reached out from around the corner and indicated.
Planning on calling the Hero Commission again, Spinner? Want to tell him more secrets? What? You thought I was wallowing in self-pity all that time in Izuku's room? No, I was doing some reading. He had you pinned as suspect number 1 from the start, so I decided to keep an eye on you from the shadows thanks to Kurogiri. Draw your sword, traitor. I want you to go down swinging.
Tamura growled as he took a stance, while Spinner withdrew his sword. Quickly, a hand wrapped around Spinner's throat as he started to decay, revealing a very pissed-off Izuku who stood behind him. Traitorous lizard! Hey, brother. I'm home. Izuku smiled at Tamura. As the 2 brothers returned to the rest of the league, they found them in a heated argument over who should be the leader, Izuku or Tamura. Enough! All of you! I don't want to be in charge. I will stay as Tamura's second in command. Nothing more. Besides, it was always our master All-for-One's will that Tamura, my brother, would be his successor and lead the league should the worst come to pass. Now it's time to move on to the next phase. Crushing the MLA. And that's our video for the day, so thank you all for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Before I go, there's a little bit of housekeeping to go over with you. First, I want to thank our patrons, BD Flames, Ethan Davis, Terry Chills, Shifter Meals, Adam Zadril, Zill, Zavbeat03, and Joshua Phelps. Secondly, I also want to thank some of our YouTube members. Toei Acosta, Rob the King, Sith Lord, CF2364 and Knuckles, Remiu Tempest, Angel Juarez, Donald C. Stewart, Bryant Greer, and Demonized Fox. Thirdly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. So check out more of that if you like what you want to hear. Fourthly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I want to thank everyone who was involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below as well. Give some love to the writer and the editors because they really do a lot of work here. Finally, if you like what we do here with the Celestials, then I want to extend an invitation to join our team. We only have one caveat: you must be 16 years or older to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the Recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. With that, that's our video for the day, so thank you all for watching and have an amazing day. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and stay awesome. This has been Tim, Mustache out.